Good morning, guys. This is Goose here, and welcome to STN Stock Talk with Ricky and Goose. You know, stocktraders.net, leading online trading community, guys, with free trading rooms, lots of widgets, lots of opportunities to speak to the instructors there. Great community. Hope you guys have come over there and signed up. Just join the free trading room. Feel free to send any of us a message about anything we're discussing this morning. Please be sure below to read the disclaimer. It's in the description area. Just want to remind you guys that nothing that Ricky and I are speaking about this morning, there are any type of solicitations. What we're doing is just throwing together a few ideas every morning and giving it to you guys and showing you our thoughts on things. And we're only trying to get, a couple ideas each. We're not going to inundate you with 20 ideas every morning. That's not how it works here. So we have some really great ideas this morning. There's a ton out there on the radar today, and I'm really excited. We're going to cover a few of them each, but excited to hear what Ricky's got, and then I got a few for you as well. So let's get things going without taking any more time, and I'll turn it over to you, Ricky, and see what you have.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Goose. Good morning, everybody. It's Ricky Analog here. Thank you for joining us. I hope everyone is doing well. And as always, it would be a big help to us if everyone could like, share, subscribe. We're always working hard to bring value to the community, and we would love it if everyone could help spread the word. So that being said, guys, first thing on my list this morning is Macy's. They beat by more than a dime on earnings, and they were just shy of estimates on the revs. They didn't issue the strongest guidance, but the market is rewarding them as of now pretty well. This thing was trading at 52-week lows on the last earnings and has began to climb back to about the mid-range of the year. I really like this chart setup, and we'll be trading this on a technical basis. You can see you have this beautiful base that they're breaking out of on the daily chart, and an even larger one if you want to look at the weekly. Let's go ahead and make this chart full screen for you guys. So you can, whoops, sorry guys. So you can see this 30 level here is an even bigger base that we're breaking out of. You got this 3-month base here over 28. But we also have what I like to see here is this 20 SMA crossing over the 50 SMA, and you have a low, a push up, a high, a pull back to support. So you have a lower high, and now we're breaking out higher highs, guys. So let's look to join this trend. I do think there's going to be a trade on it no matter what happens today, one way or another. It's going to depend for me on how it opens. If this thing wants to open right around the 30-ish level, I'm going to look for an opening setup for a long with the pre-market highs as the first target. But if it gets some legs before open and pushes, effectively opening at highs and extending, I'm going to look for a short setup to scalp it back to support. But once it finds support, if it's still above the 28 level, I will again start looking for the long. So next up on my list, guys, is LPCN. Let me go back to the daily chart, and we can show you guys the intradays as well with these. Sorry. All right, guys. So they were raised to buy from hold over Empire Assets. Their drug failed in January, and they claim that they've been working with the FDA to be able to resubmit their NDA. They have a PDUFA date set for May, and there's chatter that they're going to be approved, but that's really hard to believe when a bunch of their largest holders have liquidated their positions. Doesn't show a lot of confidence. They got a $25 million ATM with Cantor. They also just secured a $10 million loan through Silicon Valley Bank, which should help them with their cash position. But even with that loan, I think they may still be looking to tap some of that ATM if they themselves don't have confidence in the upcoming PDUFA date. There is a gap on the chart from about 214 to 293. It will be interesting to see if they can try to fill that gap, but I really have my reservations about whether that's possible for them. But with a few micros starting to light up the scene recently, as well as earnings season winding down, it's not really out of the realm of possibility. I will get interested in a short on this thing if it starts to show some nice extension, especially if we can get up to 3. The last 2 names on my list are just some earnings plays that have notable levels, and I'm going to look to see if they provide a trade. The first one is Fit, and you can see what I'm watching here is to look to get short around the 490 level, which already perfectly held. So I love the look of having that Psych 5 looming over it, and this thing's making new 52-week lows on yet another earnings miss. So that's what I'll be watching for on FIT. And the last one is THC, which you can see is breaking over a nice little push up, pull back into support, just kind of like the Macy's play, guys, but breaking over a really key psych level of 20. And if I do see this thing showing some support off the 20, I think it does have legs to at least 21, which it's currently trading at, but on very, very light volume. This is pre-market. Now, they don't typically trade a ton of volume, but you can see when they have earnings, they do bring enough volume for us to trade this. I expect to see at least 5 million shares traded on it today. But like right now where it's opening, I'm not very interested in it. I would like to see it open around 20 and show some support off that levels. That's all for me. I'm going to hand this thing over to Goose. So let's hear what's quacking.
Hey, man. Great job as always. You know, that PDUFA date kind of sounds like it should be in a rap video, kind of like Gadonk, you know.
Yeah, like the VWAP.
Yeah, kind of like that. So let me get right into my stuff, guys. I know we're a little shorter on time because we have a lot on our list. But I want to go over APO first, guys. So this is what I'm looking at with APO. You know, you can see it's pushing right up, obviously, on the daily up into the 50 and the 20 days here. Let me blow that up a little bit better so you can see it. So, you know, my thought is, you know, potential fade opportunity here through 34. I actually drew a little line so you can see that 33.90 area, really. I like to give it a little bit more through. And I'm going to look for a fade on this down to this 33 area, which you can see is a pivot. So I'm only looking for 75, 80 cents, but it might be a pretty, you know, stress-free trade if it wants to break that level. And I'll just ride it down for a nice one there. It's just a technical thing. If it pushes up on here, fails, and wants to break this 34 or 33.90 area. So I'll look for that as one of my trades today. So that's APO. Going to move along to CRZO is a very interesting one. So here we are on CRZO. I got to blow this up a little bit because it's lower. It's down at the 1450 area. So, you know, the reason I'm pulling this back a little bit so you guys could kind of see from on the daily here, going back to last summer, you know, this 1450 area, I'm going to call it, is going to be a very interesting area for me. You know, these were prior support areas, a little bit of a prior resistance area before it made this little move here, you know, back in September, and obviously it's come in, you know, with some numbers. I'm not quite sure it you know, deserves to be, you know, this far down. I'm definitely going to entertain it, and I'll touch on it, you know, if it gets down in the 13s. But my first area of interest is going to be off this 1450 area. And what I want to see is I want to, you know, see it heavy at the, you know, right at the bell, see it get soaked up 1430, 1450, wherever, you know, that initial, you know, trade down is to, and then look for that higher low to get in. And what I'm going to be looking for is a push back up into, you know, some of these consolidation areas that are prior, which would be around 16, which is also about a 50%, you know, retrace back from where it's come down. So close at 1764. Let's say if it opens up at 1450, that's $3. I'm going to look for about a $1.50 move, which takes it back up to 16. That's where I came up with that number, if that makes sense to you guys. If it fails this 1450 area, and this line is a rough line, by the way, it's not, you know, the line it has to be. I just want to kind of draw it so you guys could see this prior support area. But, you know, right now it's at 1450. If it wants to hold there, I'll look for the 16s. If it wants to come even lower, I'm actually looking to possibly swing this thing as well down in this 13 area. And you could see the first area of interest is going to be around 1360, which is that prior, you know, resistance area right here. And then if it wants to get even lower down in this, you know, 1330 area, I'll look to put some on, and I'll actually swing it. And but I, you know, hopefully it'll give that opportunity. For some reason, I don't think it's going to get down there, and I'll be looking for an earlier turn. But if it does, great, guys. On these type of stocks, if the market's heavy and this name is, you know, stays heavy, don't fight it. You'll be able to see with the level too if they keep just, you know, and anytime it tries to make a little bounce, because everybody's going to want to bounce this, you know, when it's down a few bucks. And if they're stuffing every bounce, you don't need to be first in. Okay, join the trend on the turn. Wait for, you know, conviction on definitely a higher low. You don't need to be the first in on these names. There's plenty of meat in there in the middle there. Okay. And then going on to SEDG. This is a, you know, one that kind of hit my radar. I've been watching it kind of creep up. And it's, you know, starting to get, you know, it's an over an 80 RSI, and it's starting to hit my list. It's a little bit lower volume, and I just want to mention that as Quad was also yesterday, but I don't mind these names. And, you know, you can see it's traded over 1 million shares, but, you know, what I'm looking for today, you know, if the market wants to be heavy a little bit, is a push back up. It's kind of, you know, right now opening up pretty much unchanged. It hasn't traded above, but if it wants to, not really do anything at the open here, I have a pretty good guide. You use, yesterday's high 51.20 as a guide to fade it for a sub 50 play, and maybe get a couple dollars out of a fade here. The retrace, I drew this line, 40% retrace, going to bring it back to 46. I wouldn't be looking for that. I think the first level realistically is going to be around that 48 area. Might not happen today, but that's the first area. But I do think that you could get a nice fade down below 50 and then use 50 as a guide, to, see if it wants to reclaim or not. So I think this is setting up for a decent trade today. Is one of those where you got to watch your entries and make sure you have your orders out there and go from there. So I'll leave it at that, guys. I just have a few today. There is a lot out there, guys. So don't marry anything. If something's not working for you, take it off and look, see what's trading, because there's a lot going on, especially, with the retail and things like that. So Macy's going to be around. That's a great idea. I like the Macy's idea. I just want you guys to don't be scared to take a small loss and move on to another opportunity. Okay, guys? Anyway, I'm going to turn it back over to Ricky to say goodbye. Thank you guys very much, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Thanks for all being here, and let's have a great day today. Stay safe.
Thanks a lot, Goose. Man, seeing that SED chart or SEDG chart kind of hurt my feelings right now. I remember being long on the earnings breakout around 45. But who cares? Moving on. We got a new day. Let's get it, guys. Remember, trade your plan. Make sure you have a plan. If you don't, stay out. Be smart. Stay patient. Let's go out there and crush it today, guys. Peace.